Hello guys and welcome back. So in this second video it's gonna be a 4 times of a original speed, kind of like fast forward video. And this is just gonna show you the rest of the sculpting for the folding of the pants. As you can see, it's basically the same thing again and again through various areas. It is worth noting though, like if you really want to make this look realistic, you need to gather a lot of references so that you can copy from them. Otherwise, you're basically working bland, and there's no guarantee that it's able to eventually look good. Okay. Of course, if you're more experienced, you could do it without a reference. But again, no matter how experienced you are, a reference is always going to have something you don't even know, or you could copy and you just simply make your final result better. Okay, right? So just make sure that you always have some reference. As you can see here, I'm basically just adding these X shapes or Y shapes together, adding those layers of folded structure. Sometimes adding extra branches, extend them, keep on going to different areas, and keep on extending the structure to, the surroundings. So there's a lot of standard brush and smooth brush being used, but not that much more than that. It's just basically those two brushes. Sometimes you can see I'm using maybe a little bit of a damp standard or move brush, but it's not that much in this case. Okay, the important thing is that you be patient because it's gonna take you some time to finish all those sculpting, just because it's really repetitive. Okay, so that's why sometimes we kind of like simulate those garments right away in Marvelous before we even getting in and then try to add extra smaller details. All right. As you can see now, I'm trying to like refine the structure here. I'm using Clay Build Up now to build up that area and then flatten some of the bottom faces. And here I'm just trying to extend the structure and make more connections. The internal part is always kind of like annoying because you have the other side blocking you from seeing it. Anyway, as you can see what I'm trying to do here, right? Go to different angles on that, and if there's something wrong, just maybe use move to fix them. And digging things around it to give it more like arc, and keep on doing the same thing for all others. Yeah, and of course on the branching part, you kind of wanted to give a few strokes like that to, give it some more volume over there and make it more sharp. Okay, yeah, keep on going to the top, adding extra branches and extending from there, right, refining the branch, and then keep on extending. So one thing you see that I'm doing here is that I'm trying to make the foldings smaller when you reaches to the the end of this cluster of folds. Right, you have a lot of folding on the knee, but gradually it's going to be fading out to other areas. For the main body of the foot, oh sorry, the leg, there will be lesser folding. Okay, so you can see now I'm trying to add smaller and lower folding instead of big foldings in the middle, and just gradually make them weaker and weaker, almost like it's basically fading out. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's quite a lot of folding already. So yeah, keep on going, and I think I will start to try to somehow add something in the middle now. Trying to use more of the edge polish brush. The edge polish brush will be able to make some of the structures sharper, which will be more like the folding that you will see in the middle area between the knee and the ankle. I'm trying to also change the direction of the foldings based on the references, kind of like it's going down more, right? It's more like a tilted line and more flat, kind of like folding. Trying to also make some connections from the top to the bottom. Okay, and you can see that's how that part is connected. A lot of edge polish actually here, and then some more standard brush to extend that structure to the back, and then also the bottom of that. Have some digging to help with enhancing the structure, make it more visible and sharp, and add some irregularities, right? Some diamond shaped, like really small wrinkles. Edge polish can really help you to create this really like characteristic on the garment to just make it looks like it's somehow a little bit sharper or stiffer. Okay, and has some imperfections even. Okay, you can see that part is polished using edge polish. Now moving on to the back, just keep on doing the same thing. So I was trying to add a little a long vertical fold through the back of the foot, sorry, the leg, and then did some edge polish, add some more like folding around it, trying to figure out if there's a place I can add more folding. So I added one more here, digging around it, adding that little branch arc, right? Connect it to others like this, and extend it to the other side, right? And also make some connections here. Okay, have some digging, refining, tweak the volume, right? And connect my vertical winkle to one side of it, and then just have a few more of those things. Okay, like that. So yeah, that's basically the back part. Alright, so yeah, I was also trying to just add a little bit more folding in the middle area, but it's not that important. Okay, yeah, I did a lot of edge polish actually on the middle, on the foldings in the middle, and keep on extending now to the top. Okay, alright, for the top part, I actually went a little bit more overboard on the foldings. But first of all, I'm trying to add something in the middle. I see like there's a lot of folding in between the legs on the inside of the pants, like that. So I'm trying to add a few of those things first. Okay, right, same old stuff. And sometimes you can use move to help you to get it to the correct position. Okay, a lot of more like structures are now getting added. We have some extensions from the back, blended to the top. Okay. Right, some extra structures going here and there, using some move to refine their positioning, add some smaller tips just to try to blend out to the very top of that cluster of folding. And then trying to make some connections. Edge polish is used a lot for smaller foldings. Okay, yeah, just keep on extending and connecting. And here I think I'm doing a little bit too much. It's too much of a folding happening around the area, but you can get a whole lot of foldings in reality too. It's just, you know, sometimes the pants is like in this kind of like style or fabric type, or maybe it's just the player or the character is basically having some crazy poses, or maybe it's just and a really old like pants, so it has a lot of already built-in folding that cannot even be flattened, right? Yeah, this here you can see I'm trying to create a lot of high density diamond shapes, because this part is getting squeezed a lot, just like the part happening on the ankle, right? So a lot of zigzag shapes connected to the edge, and trying to extend and make those diamond shapes down the way. Yeah, and then moving on to the front is going to be the same thing. I was actually being a little bit not careful when I was doing this part, so I'm adding something I don't quite like eventually, but it's there. So again, just a bunch of diamond shapes. I think the direction could be a little bit better, but you know, it's in there, and I'm just keep adding new stuff. Having a little trouble on what's going on in the middle, because I'm doing it in a symmetrical way, which it shouldn't be symmetrical, but I just wanted to save some time and not really having to break up the symmetry, but you know, it has to be done in the middle at least. Alright, so some more extra winkles to connect things together. Alright. Excuse me. So yeah, don't forget to go to a higher subdivision level sometimes and refine some of the shapes you're having here, because you know, it maybe is too chunky. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here too. Yeah, you can see the winkles are becoming more visible. The connection is more clear, and more structures are added. Okay, and that's actually a whole lot of folding, almost like a web or fishnet happening over there, which is kind of like interesting. Now I'm using move to break up the symmetry a little bit more and trying to refine the shape from the side view or profile view of the those winkles, trying to break up the symmetry and blocking in more foldings in the middle, which is kind of like a little bit difficult actually. Alright, so yeah, that keeps on going to extend to the bottom part. I think I added a whole lot. like all the way to almost the bottom, but you can see the same trend here. I'm trying to add smaller ones when I reach to the bottom part of this area, because they're not supposed to be that strong anymore. The strongest part will be the part you have the biggest folding, right, or biggest bending areas. That's why you have a lot of those things on the ankle, on the knee, and on the rotation part of the side, right, all those things. So yeah, you can see here I'm trying to having a higher resolution now, right, and then just refine the connections. Some of the things are not clear in the lower subdivision level, so I'm trying to refine it, make it more visible and more clear, do more connections, fix some of the arrows, right? Okay, yeah. Because I'm keep refining that turning point, or that the folding part, okay, which in this case, when you zoom actually far away, it's gonna look that much more detailed. And I'm trying to do some more connection now from the side to the middle, or from the middle to the side, because it's kind of like empty now on the side after we add a whole lot of things on the middle. It's probably too much, but you know, I think some of the genes is actually intentionally having those foldings built in, which is kind of like really interesting, and I kind of really like that texture anyways, so I'm just adding new things non-stop, all the way from the front to the back to the side, making connections. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, don't feel like you have to add a whole lot. Sometimes enough is enough. It doesn't have to be this much. See, I'm trying to add too much. I think I'm around like 40 minutes in, or you know, something like that. I'm a little bit tired actually. I don't like to sit there for too long doing these boring things. It is a boring thing to do, to be honest. But yeah, you can gradually add that. You can see now I'm also doing that fading thing. The lines are not as strong, and they're thinner too when it reaches to the bottom area. Okay, some more extra connections. If there's something wrong, just smooth it out and redo that part. Yeah, I did some big smooths there, and then just trying to figure out what's going on here, adding more wrinkles. Yeah. It's almost like blocking this entire area with diamond shapes. Yeah. Gradually you can see we're having smaller branches to the very end of that area. Alright, and I feel like this part is a little bit empty, so it's just some random lines going towards the direction of the arc. Okay, and sometimes a few edge polish to have some hard planar shapes. Okay, like that, to mimic some more interesting foldings. Okay, and then I think I'm basically moving on to the rest of the garment, you know, the top area now, and a lot of edge polishes are used for the smaller ones, and add extra wrinkles, extend them to the side, to the front, to the top and bottom, make some connections if possible. Okay, and again, there's basically not that much of a secret when you're doing this. If it's difficult, it just means that you're not quite familiar with the shape yet, maybe not being able to control the brush that good, but you know, it's just gonna be the matter of practicing. I have been teaching you know, sculpting things like this for a while now. I know that it's, you know, for like an average student, this is not possible to do the first time. I can show you it a million times, right? But if you don't do it yourself, you will never be able to do it. Okay, so just make sure that you practice, you don't get too frustrated, and you just never give up. Okay. All right. I think that's about everything there. Just a few more foldings. I think I'm done. Okay. Alright, so that's the process of creating folding. As you can see, not a lot of brushes, not a lot of concepts either, but it does require experience and then the ability to control the intensity of the stroke, and able to make connections, and able to observe and find more references, and being able to discover if there's something wrong, and being able to follow the rules and not making something weird. Okay, yeah, a lot of moving there, trying to make the foldings to go across the direction they're supposed to be folding, right? Make them clean up. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the folding. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope this video can give you guys some insight on like how this is done, right? To be honest, not a lot of secret, but just try and practice and practice. So hopefully someday you can also feel like, very easy to do those things. And when you know how to do it, when you really eventually, click, it's gonna be something very easy, and it's just gonna be the matter of time to sculpt all those things and then, yeah, be done with it. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. See you next time.